Hello guys, Sir Grandelot here. I decided that I will make a few videos aimed at helping new players who are just now reaching the end game of Genshin Impact and that are starting to approach the Abyss. Because it's easy to follow meta advices in terms of team building, but I think that it's very important for players to actually have an idea of how to approach VABs by themselves, depending on what characters they have available. Because if someone told you, well, obviously Kazuha is the best, but you don't have him and his banner is nowhere to be seen, then there is not much you can do about it. So what can you do when you have a limited roster of characters? And this is what I want to explore in my next few videos. I will start making this video about floor 9. Now, of course, for a lot of people, this floor will be extremely easy, but for newer players, this is going to be one of the first, oh my god, moments, because there is a slight spike in difficulty once you reach floor 9. A thing that you need to do every time that you approach the Abyss is, of course, to check what kind of monsters you're going to face. Because more often than not, the Abyss is split in two categories. One is a DPS check, which is you just go there with your best build characters and you hope that the damage that you can output is enough to kill the monsters in time. And the other option is that it could be a rock, paper, scissors game where you simply need to have the right elements in order to clear whatever enemies you're going to face. Here, the most important thing to notice is in the first half you have a Frost dude and a Geo dude. Meaning that you would really like to bring a combination of Pyro, Electro, maybe Geo to remove his shield, but it's not really necessary. In the second half, we have mostly Ender's Trash and a Hydro Shield, and it's very good to have Cryo to handle this kind of shield. Here we have Endless Trash. And here we have the Fatui Agent and the Electro Chichin Mage. You don't really need these specific elements for them, you just need to be able to kill them in time. So, assuming you are a new player, what kind of team could you make to face floor 9? Well, I decided to use this kind of team, which is a team composed of Barbara, Shanling, and Fischl in the first half, then Noelle, Keia, and who is the last one that I built? I built another one here. Oh, Doggy Boy. Where is Doggy Boy? Doggy Boy. Some of my characters are higher level, some are lower level. I would like to point out, I just uploaded a video with all my builds. So my Shanling is Constellation 6, Fischl is 6, my Noelle is built insanely well. So what I'm doing for this video is Noelle is going to use a Favonius Greatsword, which reduces her damage a lot. Fischl is going to use a Leanter instead of a Skyward Harp. He has a trash build, she's level 50, and I will not use a fourth character. But this at least gives you an idea of what kind of team you could put together if you're just starting the game. Now, if you don't have Doggy Boy, you can replace him with a main character absolutely fine. You could have her Geo for Geo Resonance, or you could have her Electro to work as a battery. It's all good. So, let's start and see how things go. It's important to notice that floor 9 never changes. It has never changed. I don't know if Mihoyo will change it in the future. So, the combination of enemies that you see me facing right now is going to be exactly what you're going to face. We pick a nice card that can be effective for the whole floor. And Barbara is not going to be the greatest against the Hydro Slimes, but she's going to be absolutely fine for the rest of the encounter. I'm not the greatest Shanling estimator, but she's alright, she's a very good character. You should definitely build her if you have her. And you can get her for free, by the way. Here you just want to go around killing stuff. Again, this part is extremely annoying because all the monsters are spread out all around the arena. So it feels like you're wasting a lot of time, and it's actually true, you're wasting a lot of time. It feels a bit bad, man. You want to kill everything a bit at a time. There will probably be a little bit of walking involved, but there is not much we can do about it. Luckily for floor 9 you still have plenty of time to clear it. The time requirements become a little bit more strict later on, but in the early floors you have plenty of time. Now here I'm using Noelle as my carry. Noelle has one big issue. She does not generate energy. She can deal a decent amount of damage, especially if you have a Constellation 6, but she really wants teammates that can generate energy for her. Now, in this specific case, she has Favonius Greatsword, because it would not make sense to give advice to new players using my regular Noelle build that hits like a truck. This is what you can expect a decently well-built Noelle to do in terms of damage in the early game. And by early, I mean with a bit of investment. It's not like that the moment you get Noelle, she's going to deal this amount of damage. But it's a good starting point for her. So floor 9 was cleared very easily, very quickly at least for the first chamber. Let's move to the second one. Oh, we got a nice card. This, by the way, is the Curse of Genshin Impact. In the lower floors, those that are easier, you get the cards of the gods. Then, when you are at floor 12, which can be a little bit more challenging, you get offered like a third, a used condom, and something else that we don't even want to mention. The idea, at least for this team combination, is always the same, that you want to set up Shanling's Burst. You summon odds, then you go to Barber and you apply Hydro. This will allow Shanling to deal a very, very considerable amount of damage. Shanling has the catch right now, which is a free-to-play option. It's actually a very, very good weapon for her. Here we don't have Shanling's Burst available yet. That's her curse, essentially. She's really energy hungry and she doesn't generate a lot of energy. So, a bit like Noelle, she relies a lot on her teammates to handle things. Here we're getting slightly obliterated, so we want to heal up with Barbara. Exactly the same strategy. We want to find an area where we can start hitting a lot of targets. We use everyone's burst, we generate energy for Noelle, and Noelle will go around the field obliterating everything she can. Worth mentioning also that the Abyss is mostly about character investment, meaning that sometimes having a not meta composition where you have characters that are well built will perform much better than a so-called meta team where your characters are not well built at all or have suboptimal stats, have wrong weapons and all this sort of stuff. Okay, we dealt with the second chamber fairly easily. The second chamber is not a problem at all, mostly because the monsters spread around a bit less and you don't have to worry too much about elemental issues. Here, we can get elemental mastery. It definitely benefits this team. At the end of the video I will show these characters one by one to show you what kind of stuff I had on them. Hello, big Geodude. You don't need to worry too much about the big Geodude. Unfortunately, energy is a little bit low. But everything melts when you have a Shanling with a bit of elemental support from our characters. And this is the chamber with the Fatui Dude and the Chichi Mage. No, not really a lot to talk about, you just need to have enough damage output, shield, and a little bit of healing. I know that for low-level characters, this kind of fight can be a little bit difficult because you get a lot of incoming damage, but there are many ways to ignore damage in the game, either via shields or healing, and Noelle does both. Then we're going to say hello to the two dudes over here. They're not going to enjoy this time very much. At low levels you could actually get one shot by these guys. So you will need to pay a little bit of attention to them, but it's not a difficult fight at all. In terms of character investment, I was only using 3 characters instead of 4, so having a 4th character will definitely benefit your teams. And I will go around showing you what I was using on each character. This is Barbara. I was using 3 Lintails on her, with 4 pieces Ocean Hook Lamb set. Her role in the team is to provide a little bit of healing and apply Hydro, which will allow Xianling to deal very, very good amounts of damage. I have Constellation 6, but her constellations don't really matter. Her Constellation 6 is fine. It's funny only if one of your characters suddenly dies, but it's not needed at all. And as you can see, very little investment in her talents. Then, other characters that I had in the first team, one of them was Official. I gave her a melee hunter. It's Refinement 5. You're not going to expect Refinement 5 LA Hunter on your early Official, so your Official is definitely going to deal less damage than mine. She's going to hit less often because I have Constellation 6, but even a low Constellation Official is going to be amazing because she provides a bit of off-field damage and electro reactions. She generates energy. She's a very, very good character. You should definitely build her. And then Xianling. My Xianling is not built particularly well. See, very, very underwhelming stats. Not even 100% crit damage. A lot of Elemental Mastery, because Elemental Mastery is very important for her. And a nice chunk of energy recharge on a free-to-play weapon. And 4 pieces Emblem of Severed Fate, which is very good for her. She's Constellation 6. Her constellations help. They're not a must-have, but they definitely help. She's a good character to build. We then go to the second team that I used. That team had Noelle using a Favonius Greatsword, which helps her a lot with her energy regeneration woes, although she will have lower damage. If you have Noelle as a carry in the early game, you want to give her either a Serpent Spine, if you have a Battle Pass, or whatever weapon you have which provides damage. These, I would not recommend it, but you know, these very questionable. Anything that you have available, as long as it provides good damage. If you don't have anything better, Favonius Greatsword will be fine for her. I'm using 4 pieces Gladiator. It's not her best set, but I don't have pieces for my Husk set for her. Constellation 6, she's going to be a very good on-field carry once you unlock all her constellations. If you don't have her Constellation 6, maybe she will be there for shielding, a little bit of healing and a little bit of damage, but you may need someone else on the field to actually deal the bulk of the damage. And her talent levels are pretty high because I really like Noelle. Then the rest of the team was composed by my low investment Kaya, very, very low investment, with a Favonius Sword to help regenerating energy, 4 pieces Emblem of Severed Fate, more energy and more damage for his burst. I don't have many constellations for him. His talents are like this, and his stats are like this. A fairly balanced build, nothing outrageous, a lot of energy recharge. Doggy Boy has a very bad build, very, very bad build. Not necessarily in terms of stats, but in terms of things that he doesn't really do much. He's there just to provide, in this team, he's there just to provide G-Resonance to Noelle, boost her damage, and give energy. Again, super low investment, Doggy Boy, even the levels are very low. You could fill the teams with Ember. She can provide a little bit of off-field damage, and if you put her in the team with Xianling, she will give you Pyro Resonance. As I said earlier, you can definitely build your main character I would advise playing her or him Electro or Geo, depending on the team you're building. Other characters may not be as available in the early game, both 4 stars and 5 stars, but we will see how to handle the next floor, the more difficult floors with no 5-star characters, so maybe just 1 5-star character and a limited pool of 4-star characters. So that was all for the 9th floor. Give it a try. I know that some people are a bit scared by the Abyss and they think that it's going to be this omega challenging content, but it's not really. It's just a way to see how far you are in the progress of your characters, and it will give you a hint on what to do with your characters, which of them deserve a little bit more love, which deserve more artifacts, more talent books, more Mora. It's all about Mora, essentially. So that will be all for floor 9, and I will see you next time with floor 10. Bye and take care.